Welcome to Devil's Advocate.
Cool. Pardon? Yeah, cool, no problem. Whatever.
And with speed.
Okay, there goes.
Welcome.
Welcome, Keanu.
Welcome.
Keanu, it's very easy to look at this movie and say, even after you've seen it from the very end, you walk out of the cinema and you say, Al's the bad guy, Keanu's the good guy. The two of you are bad guys, really. You're not a very good guy.
No.
I mean, you are at first, but you become a pretty bad guy.
Do I? Yes,
Well,
I do.
think so. Well, first of all,
Well, I
you're
get a
not
little
very good to Charlize, for starters.
Yes, I am. In the beginning, I am.
Yeah, but
Come on, we're hugging, we're kissing.
Sure, exactly. You're the perfect couple. Then you go to New York and you get offered something better, and you say, "Listen, I'll deal with her later."
Right. But I mean, but I don't know. Didn't you remember that scene where Al Pacino is talking, and I'm in his apartment, and he's saying, you know, and Eddie Barzoon, Jeffrey Jones' character, is running. He puts forward a point of view that isn't that bad. He's saying, as we become more successful, as we become our egos become cathedrals, as we become our own gods, who's watching the planet? Okay. And and as everything becomes irradiated, as everything becomes poisoned because of our appetites, because of how we consume, because of how much we want to. And he shows a kind of remorse for what he is enabling people to do.
Okay, well then maybe...
Which is interesting.
If that is correct, then hold on a second. In that very same scene,
right.
Taylor Hackford, maybe nothing to do with you, I don't know, shows us your wife at the window freaking out at the exact same thing.
Because you can hear, exactly.
So in other words, that sort of counterpoints what you're saying.
No, it doesn't. It's showing that, no, he's actually putting point more forward. Right. That it is happening. Because she can hear it happening.
She can, yeah.
And that comes, do you hear it, honey? Can you hear it? And my character says, and my character, even at the end of that Pacino scene. So what I'm saying with that is that we are both light and dark. And what's interesting is that the Mephistopheles character is also light and dark. And that is shown in an image at the end of the piece, where when that event happens, I don't want to give it away, where the angel wings come out.
Yeah.
You know? And it's just, and what I like about it is that in the piece, it's shown that the light and dark, traditionally maybe good and evil, God and the devil, is inside and outside. And that there is, and the theme of free will, and what you decide to do. This is the point.
I mean, Al is sardonic, he's cruel, he's kind of funny, but he doesn't pull the final strings.
And he's supportive, and he doesn't pull the strings.
No, you're the one who is the whatever of your own downfall.
And he's supportive. Listen to what he says to Barzoon with the character before that event happens. He goes, I've supported him through 3 marriages, a cocaine habit, a court case.
Yeah, but hold on, you're making him out to be a little bit nicer than he is. When things don't go right for him, when Barzoon is going to go to Weaver or whatever, then let's get rid of Barzoon.
Right, and why not? And why not? Because in the piece, he says guilt. It's like a bag of bricks. Put it down.
Yeah, all right, but hold on a second. Then.
You know, it's in your way. Who are you holding them for?
You're in Gainesville, Florida.
God.
You're this nice couple. You go to New York. You do the gig. Hold on, that's not fair, because I'll tell you why this is not fair. Because you are actually a pretty nice guy. The point about it is, you're not, say, sort of Michael Douglas.
What's a nice guy?
Hold on, you're not Michael Douglas in Wall Street, say, right? You're not going to walk all over people as part of your job, as part of your life.
That's not true. I scream at a girl who's saying that she was been sexually molested by her math teacher. I take her apart.
But wait a minute now, that's slightly different again, because that's your gig as well. That is what you're paid to do.
So you agree
that
I can put that behind my job?
That's what you're paid to do. That is what you are paid to do, and that's your job, okay?
But that's what I say.
I mean, your man got O.J. Simpson off.
And Al Pacino says, I rest my case.
Yeah.
So you're saying I can be a nice guy because it's my job to crush and destroy a girl who's been accused, who's saying that she's been molested? And in the film, we see that maybe she has been. So you think then? So then you're actually good guys.
No,
because you're
there to represent the law, not question it. You have to do what you're supposed to do within the law. So you do that.
But if I morally feel that it's wrong, personally,
this
morally,
this is the point.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. That's the point. So you're saying that because it's my job, I'm still a good guy, because it's my job. I can hide behind my job, even though that I know it's terrible.
It's not good. Yeah.
It's my job, and you're saying that's okay.
No, hold on. I'm not saying necessarily this. Hold on. Let's go one step further. Those guys who got O.J. Simpson off, if I believe, having watched it on TV every day of the week, that I was more or less in the courtroom, so maybe I do know what I'm talking about, that he shouldn't have got off, that therefore those guys, I mean, those guys, what about the,
Hey, man, Furman, it's a suspect how the blood got there. You know, I mean, and it's a court,
let's
and
go to
it's a
general
jury
about
within his
celebrity
peers.
trials then.
No, have you ever heard that, what was that joke? It's by Chris Rock. He said, imagine this, okay? Seinfeld's been accused of murder, all right? and he's sitting there, and the only guy, and it's a white jury, right? And Seinfeld's been accused of slicing open, but the only person who brought the blood was some black Muslim Farrakhan cop.
Okay.
What's going to happen?
All right, okay.
What's going to happen?
He's going to get off. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, okay.
That's what it is.
All right, okay. So, in other words, whatever happens in a courtroom is like pure and absolute, these days, entertainment for the masses. It's not
No,
very much.
not at all. No, come on.
Well, it is to a point.
No, come on. That's taking something that's going on in here and being witnessed or spoken about, you know, and describing it that way, and then defining what that event is by its description. That is distorted, and I don't think that that's true.
Well, Sky News in Britain got the biggest audience it ever got for covering the Louise Woodward trial day to day, hour by hour.
Right. But that's something that's still, that woman still, though, if, you know, she might have gone to jail, she might not, but just because that's maybe what people are interested in, maybe that is something, but that does not define the event.
Right, right, yeah, no, sure, okay. So let's get back to the movie then for 1 second here, right?
But that's what this film's about, though.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
You know, that's what's
There are
really
those
cool.
who
That's
say
what's
that
cool about the film, is that it makes
this movie's
dialogue.
about cigarettes. They can always tell the guy is bad, because when you start going bad, you start
Okay,
smoking.
here's another example of that. That is not, I mean, that, and I'll also say that's American because of this kind of quasi-morality, kind of politically correct
PC
movement.
stuff,
But that's also, though, something that is a way to show appetite. You know, I think when Taylor did that, it wasn't any kind of political statement. It was that he was doing appetite. You know, same with drinking, smoking. It's all, you're sucking in. And, you know, as when he goes to the dinner table and he's my character and he's introduced to these women and there's dancing, you know, it's kind of, you know, it's a seduction. It's appetite. He wants his appetite, you know. Al Pacino's character says, you know, I've inspired what is it? I've inspired every desire. What does he say? I've supported every desire that man has been inspired to have. Yeah. You know? So that's what he's doing.
Right,
he's just, whatever you have, man, whoever you are, go for it.
Okay, well, by the way, what was it like working with Al? Was it cool?
It was amazing, amazing. He's amazing. You know, he's just, he's such an incredible actor. He's such a pure, I mean, you know, he comes from a theatrical tradition. You know, he's got his, obviously, you know, his skills, and just to work with him, I saw, you know, relearned, inspired by ways to work.
Yeah.
How to leave oneself alone, how to be open, how to act for the camera. You know, he's a very open actor. It's almost presentational sometimes. You know, I tend to be closed off a little bit.
Right.
So I mean, I don't want to go so far, but a little bit of it. It's good.
Okay, like the way your career has gone, it's gone extremely well in some ways, and then by '95, having like gone through the roof before that, you did Feeling Minnesota, you did Chain Reaction, you did maybe one or two other things, whatever, and it didn't seem to go so well. Now, can I just say that with the scene in the movie of The Devil's Advocate, with the roof scene, with the water scene and that, is there any way at all I can relate that to that in those three movies you learned something, as though to say, I'm never going to let this kind of thing happen again. I thought Chain Reaction was this, but suddenly it turned out to be that.
Right.
In which case, I read the script and I saw this roof scene with some water in it. Hey, you're not going to do that. You are going to do that.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Oh, you mean because they wanted to take the water away?
Exactly.
And I mean, I don't know if that didn't for me literally happen, but certainly involvement in those kinds of things. I certainly fought. There's another sequence in the film that I fought for and
just
lost.
to fight for, yeah.
But yeah, sure, to start to fight for things and to have more of a say, and you know, and not in a distorting way, because I try to connect. You know, when I go to make a film, or I get hired to make a film, you know, then we talk about it, and this is it, and let's see what happens. And then if a producer comes in and says, "No, I want to take it away," and go, "Hey," I might go, "Well, then who's gonna film tomorrow?"
Sure. Okay, Keanu, just one last question. Just tell me about Matrix, the movie.
Matrix, yes, thank you. It's a science fiction picture. The Wachowski brothers, Larry and Andrew, who directed Bound. And it's got Lawrence Fishburne, Carrie-Anne Moss, and Hugo Weaving in it.
And what do you do?
I play the hero, Neo.
Doing what?
It's 1997, and he's in a reality. He's here, but he doesn't trust it. And he's trying to find someone who he thinks has the answer. And the answer is terrifying.
Great. Okay, thanks very much, Keanu.
All right.